Well, I knew this day would come. It was inevitable, alright. Stumpy's lovely world is coming to an end. And I'm pretty sure that it shouldn't be too big of a surprise to many of us since, like all good stories, there is always an ending. And even with that in mind, it was still pretty surprising to hear that earlier this year, he was going to end his series at 800 episodes, but ultimately delayed it to a later date. Meaning the episodes we are getting are coming closer and closer to the eventual finale, which seems to be hyped up to be a pretty good conclusion. Now, what exactly is that conclusion, you might ask? Well, I haven't really seen anybody put out any theories of potentially what Stumpy may do for his finale. So, I'll be the first. I have 3 specific theories that may tie in to the potential finale. Now, one of these is kinda taken by somebody who has made a theory, so all credit to this person who made this video. This theory is the Stampy time travel theory. And what the video basically sums up to is how the Stampy that we are seeing now may potentially not be the original Stampy. Now, I'm not really going to go too in depth of what exactly the video is all about, because at that point you might as well just watch the entire video. So, link in the description, go check it out. So that was first theory out of the way. Now let's get on to the second theory, which I think is a little more likely than the first one. And that is the main rivals of Stampy, Hit the Target and Viva Dash, should be redeemed. Now at first, it might sound like some bogus since they haven't really shown much redemption material in their characters. In fact, most of us would think it'd be better for them to stay villains, even when the finale rolls around. But it's only until this episode where Stampy decides to do a weird act of kindness by letting Hit the Target and Viva Dash go, despite what they did in that very episode.
Do I bully you like you bullied me? No, I am not going to do that, and you know why? It's because I am better than you. But I do believe that you two can be better too. But you won't get better if I treat you the way that you treat others. So you can go back into your castle. Go on then, up the ladder you go, back into your bedroom. But remember that I did forgive you today. And hopefully the fact that I decided to forgive you will mean something to you in the future when you think about doing one of your other plans to try and get my dogs from me and take over Stampy's lovely world.
And yet Stampy decides to do that and explains that if he treats them kindly, then hopefully in return, they will treat him kindly. And I mean, they have before, and we already know how that worked out. Twice. But then again, it is very possible that these 2 characters might actually redeem themselves. Now, to what exactly they are redeeming themselves for isn't exactly what I am going to be covering, but rather why I think it would be necessary for the finale. And it's the fact that, well, they have shown up on multiple occasions. And I personally feel like that because we have seen them so many times, yet see no success in many of their plans, so it would feel quite refreshing to see these 2 antagonists to actually redeem themselves. I mean, think about it. Puss in Boots always finds a way to stay one step ahead.
He's your favorite fearless hero.
And considering that Target and DoorDash constantly fail with their plans, and considering that the finale is rolling around, it would make sense for Ballister and Pneumonia to make amends with Mario. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys might be commenting down below that Hit the Target most likely won't redeem himself because he's had quite a long track record with Stampy, and even if Hit the Target doesn't redeem himself, I think it would be equally interesting, if not more interesting, if Viva Dash's loyalty to Hit the Target be tested in the finale. Because while Viva Dash has been able to help hit the target with many of his plans, I feel like that there may come a point where Viva Dash will say enough is enough and decide to switch sides, ultimately leaving Hit the Target to his own devices. And another thing to support this potential theory is the fact that we don't actually know, or at least to my knowledge, where Viva Dash came from, nor who she was in the past. Because, I mean, for all we know, she could have been an ordinary citizen who happened to have a talent for redstone and potions. And then one day, Hit the Target saw her talent and was able to manipulate her to take down Stampy, making her believe that Stampy was the real villain, despite how kind and good Stampy is, as well as many of his helpers. I mean, no matter which way you slice it, whether it be both Hit the Target and Viva Dash, or just Viva Dash being redeemed in the finale. And that was Theory 2. Let's move on to Theory number 3. Possibly my favorite theory, and most likely to end the series off fantastically. And this theory for the finale is that William Beaver, Polly Reindeer, and Fizzy Elephant, Stumpy's hero helpers, may end up leaving Stumpy by the end of the finale. Because in the past, many of Stumpy's helpers, whether it be the Iconics or the lesser known, leave Stumpy at one point for a multitude of reasons. And since the current trio that Stumpy has through the past 300 plus episodes, it would be time for them to move on and do other things. And I think that it would make for a great message of moving on, since that's what the finale is going to be about. Because since Stumpy's lovely world is going to be ending, I feel like it would be nice to see Stumpy's helpers move on from his lovely world. Now, I don't know what Stumpy will do next after the finale, but I for one cannot wait to see what is in store. Because while it is the end of an era, it is still, without a doubt, the beginning of a new chapter in Stumpy's YouTube career. This whole video was just basically one love letter to Stampy. As a person who grew up watching his videos, it is a bittersweet hearing that he is going to end his series. And it's evidently clear that I'm not the only one. And it's pretty delightful to see that with the series ending, many more people are actually revisiting Stumpy's YouTube channel. And while I'm sure that many of us would like the series to continue, I feel like that this is a perfect place for us to move on. I mean, who knows what Stampy has else in store. And as always, I'll see you all later. Bye!